Okay, that's the end of day's play. Since can you please open the scorecard? Since the first lunch, Shane did the honors, then Siddharth did the honors for the tea time score. So I'll sum up what's happened in the game so far. So 177 is what Australia got. Fifer for Ravindra Jadeja, 3 wickets for Ashwin, 1 each for the 2 fast bowlers. Followed by what India has managed to do is courtesy Rohit Sharma half century. They are at 77, so just about 100 runs behind and 9 wickets in hand. The only wicket that they've lost on the day is that of KL Rahul that has gone to the debutant in Todd Murphy. So that's what's happened in the day so far. Firstly, a round of applause for Rohit Sharma. What amazing
nice half century.
Amazing piece of batting. Really leading by the front, the captain, walking the talk.
Yep.
And we knew that this probably would be the way or the correct way for anyone to approach. We saw glimpses of that in the Australia inning, where batsmen, when they did counter-attacking batting, it paid dividends. So you thought India would do the same. Rohit Sharma did that. KL Rahul went for a different approach. I wouldn't say either of the approaches right or wrong. At the end of the day, you have to have a certain number of runs in front of your name.
Correct.
And KL Rahul went for a different approach, and considering it's a test match, there's no issue of strike rate as such,
exactly,
so long as you get runs. So firstly, I think overall, if I look at it, I think India would be happy. See, in the context of the game, even that 20 looks important. Because if you lost a wicket early, you never know they run through you, just as it happened with Australia. So you needed a 50 plus run opening stand, which credit to Rohit Sharma and KL Rahul, they gave you. I think KL's dismissal was a soft one. We'll talk more about it as we go along. But overall, day one, definitely. Now, I can say with a loft, I was very circumspect, but Siddharth was more bullish on India. And he's been proven right. And so it's his birthday also. So,
got the right birthday gift.
India.
Yes.
Is that the birthday gift that you wanted?
I mean, see, you would want India to dictate terms to Australia on day one of a very, very important series. Yeah. The batting flourished with Rohit Sharma. The bowling, Ravindra Jadeja, 2 guys who have been out of the Indian team for a long time. They have made a big statement of intent. Rohit Sharma in particular in red ball cricket, after a year, mostly potentially after a year he's playing test cricket.
Yeah, Ravindra Jadeja in 2022.
Yeah, Ravindra Jadeja not played any form of active cricket for 4 to 5 months.
Correct.
5 wickets. And Ash getting 450 test wickets. What more do you want?
Wow, what a birthday gift.
Yeah.
For Mr. Sidvi.
And of course now Ash coming out to bat as a night watchman as well. Didn't understand that move.
No, but it wasn't surprising.
Why?
It was just one
7 balls to go.
Yeah, then wouldn't you have sent out your normal batsman? If it's only 7 balls.
Well, then what is the night watchman for?
To watch out.
Yeah, to ensure that you don't lose another wicket.
He could do a Jason Gillespie.
If you had to safeguard a Cheteshwar Pujara, a Virat Kohli, I don't think it's a bad move. See, I don't mind night watchman, provided 2 criterias are ticked. One, he should be no mug with a bat, like just you can't send a Courtney Walsh or a
Chris
Martin or one of those. Okay. You need to send someone who's decent enough with the bat, and in this case, Ravichandran Ashwin is more than decent with the bat.
Correct.
So that's the first thing that you need to do. So only when you send like a out and out bowler, then it serves no purpose, because good chance he'll get out. Then you'll have to send your regular batsman. So
anyway.
Send a decent batsman. That's first. And secondly, the gap should really be less. I mean, I would imagine 3 at best 4 overs to go. Then I understand. But if it's more than 5-6 overs, then you might as well send your regular batsman in, because that also doesn't serve a purpose. So today, because the gap was really short and you had a decent, bowling all-rounder, if I can call him that, then I don't have any problem. But why does Shane have an issue?
I thought you'd send Pujara out there.
But what if you lose his wicket? Never know.
Then you have such a deep batting.
See, the scorecard changes.
Yeah, but there's such a deep batting anyway.
I know, but the scorecard changes now from 71 for 1, 77 for 1. If you're 77 for 2, having lost 2 of your regular batsmen, it just changes the complexion of the game. Had you lost Ashwin, then you would have been like, okay,
you still have other batsmen.
Yeah, you've got your regular batsmen still to come. So I think it's okay.
And Ashwin has the potential to do a Gillespie of 2004.
No, he can do better. I think he's a far better bat. Gillespie had
better bat. Yeah, absolutely.
That was a freaky knock, that Gillespie.
Yeah. So
Because he never showed any sort of
he didn't
Potentially with the
play
bat
after
thereafter.
Ah,
Say before
yeah,
that also
before
that.
No, that 2004, remember that partnerships he had with Damien Martin.
Yeah, those were very key.
That changed the entire course of the match in Chennai, also in Bangalore, and we all know what he did against Bangladesh. I think it was Fatullah.
Yeah. So happier of the two teams, of course, India.
Has to be.
Rohit Sharma, man.
56.
There's a reason I've been saying this, though he's not been playing, only played 2 out of the last 10 test matches that India played. But take a look at before that, and I think it all changed with that South Africa series at home.
2019.
From there on, you saw a different Rohit Sharma. Just as in ODI cricket, there were 2 Rohit Sharmas. Before 2013 when he was not an opener, and after 2013 when he turned into an opener, completely changed his fortunes as a white ball batsman. Then in terms of his test batting, I think that moment was at 2019 home series to South Africa. Before that, he had underachieved, to put it mildly. Underachieved with the kind of talent that he had in the red ball format. And then from there on, dare I say, and I'm not going to mince my words, he's been the best Indian batsman in red ball format since then. Just looking at the test he's played, because we can't consider the test that he
hasn't
played. Yeah,
in the test that he's played.
Yeah. Set you up a win in England. Oval.
And against England also.
Yep. That on a minefield, he was the one who batted really, really well in Ahmedabad. So yes, Rohit, that X factor.
No, and see, it makes a huge difference. Now imagine Rohit Sharma has gone into bat alongside KL Rahul, both under tremendous pressure. KL Rahul fighting for his spot in the team. Rohit Sharma, not
Questions
only
on
about
captaincy.
his batting, where he's not been playing test cricket, then his white ball form also hasn't been outstanding. Then captaincy has been stop-start because he's not available. And then such a big high-pressure series like India-Australia. So too much pressure. But I think the best way to deal with that is just counter-attacking. So he could have easily gone into a shell.
Yes.
And tried to survive.
Yeah.
Or he's like, no.
Those 3 fours in the first over of Pat Cummins, that itself signaled the intent.
And mind you, I think what really opened up his mind a little bit was the first one, because that was an edge, flew through the slips. He's like, look, I probably don't have, maybe there's something that would come later that will get me out anyway. Let me play my shots.
Yeah.
After that, he was a different player.
And then the 4th over after.
Yep.
First over and then 2 quiet overs.
2 quiet overs, and then the spinners came on.
Yeah.
Murphy and Lyon. Lyon, I thought yet again he struggled.
He did. He wasn't getting anywhere close to the kind of turn you normally can generate, which is surprising.
See, that's what I'm saying. See, the different, again, different condition, different types of bowler. These dry turning wickets, I think that's where Ashwin holds the edge. And if you remember, we spoke about it in our previews, that if you give your conventional old school Indian subcontinental pitches, which are great for batting, then I think Lyon would hold the edge over Ashwin. And those stats are very representative of when you've played abroad also, where you sometimes get batting friendly wickets. Not all the time, but abroad when you've got batting friendly. In Australia also sometimes you get, leave aside a Gaba or Perth on occasions, you usually get good batting tracks. In those batting tracks, you've seen how someone like a Lyon does much better than an Ashwin. In Indian condition, we've seen in previous test matches where you get your regular pata wickets, as you call them. Lyon tends to do much better.
Yeah.
As soon as you get these dry turning tracks, you know that Ashwin is a different beast. And Lyon then probably doesn't have those skills to be troubling the batsman as much. And I think, see, now again, when you go back and do it, the whole talk was, see, if they are weak against spin, we aren't great. If we have good spinners, they have good spinners. But it's also in which conditions.
Yep.
So a good batting track sort of conditions, then I guess their spinners would have been almost as good as India, or maybe even better. And batting against spin in those conditions, maybe a Smith and a Labuschagne would have rivaled a Kohli. But in these conditions, I think Indian batsmen slightly
better. And remember, at least in India, you have the spin twins, Jadeja and Ashwin. For here, in the Aussie case, who is the other twin? Murphy, too early to judge. If Lyon struggles, then Australia are going to have a very, very long 2 to 3 days.
In fact, there's going to be questions over their team composition as well. Then you're tempted. Do you bring in Ashton Agar? might be a different
that's so
option.
much later.
Yeah, but I think they will panic.
But they will panic, and also if Nathan Lyon doesn't fire, then you're caught between a rock and a hard place when it comes to Australia. Who is their potent spinner who can cause trouble on these Indian decks?
No, they gambled with someone like
Todd Murphy.
Who, to be fair,
is the one who's picked up the wicket.
Yeah.
Just going on that KL Rahul wicket, I think it had a lot. I mean, again, it's a question of your mindset. I think he did well. Those 20 runs were crucial for India, and in the larger scheme of things, you look at it that way. And the approach that he took, if it got you a decent base,
then fair enough.
I'll take that as a captain. My thing is that had he been a bit more or high on confidence, had he had got runs, that particular ball, if you see, I think that's the ball in the slot. You got to go for it. Full-fledged go for it.
Yep.
But he was in two minds, whether to defend
or go for
thought,
it.
like flick it.
Wanted to just play out the end of the day, or should I attack?
Yeah.
That happened.
If he was slightly more positive in his mindset, he would have gone for it, and that was a boundary.
Correct.
Yes.
Boundary with the taking.
Please, Shane, hold on to that Murphy's Law joke, please, for the dugout. Not
Come
now.
on, right
Not
there.
now, not now. I know you're tempted.
Murphy's
but
Law.
please.
Everything that could go wrong went wrong.
For
For KL. I mean, he to be fair, he was grinding nicely. Didn't give away his wicket whatsoever. Yeah, you can say negative mindset, but I understand why he's under pressure. He didn't have a great time in the Bangladesh series, so you're thinking, okay, good. Take your time. There's no real pressure of the scoreboard, and then he gets out to a dolly.
Yeah.
And that too, who's the guy? Todd Murphy.
Murphy's Law, hence
Murphy's Law.
Murphy.
Murphy. Okay.
Murphy. You know the film, na? How that name came.
Yeah, I remember.
Yes.
Son the
Murphy radio.
But he couldn't say it, that's right.
So he said Murphy.
Murphy.
Yeah, I remember that.
Murphy.
Yeah. Nice film. Nice film.
Yes, I liked it.
Yep. Ranbir Kapoor. And all talk, I think Jadeja spoke to the host broadcasters about how he. So,
Jadeja.
yeah. What a comeback. 7 wickets in that second innings against Tamil Nadu, now 5 wickets.
He's a rock star, yeah. No wonder Shane Warne named him that.
Yep.
The late great Warnie knew when he spotted stars.
Yes.
And Jadeja was definitely one of those he said was destined for big things.
Yep. So that is a fantastic effort. I mean, he was accurate, and look at the economy rate that he had against the right-handers, 1.8. He just bowled 6 balls to the left-handers overall. That was where Ashwin came up, stepped up to the plate and ensured the pressure would be maintained.
Correct.
Right, Alex Carey and all were going after the bowling, but at the same point in time, it's Australia, they couldn't sustain that aggression.
Correct.
Rohit?
Losing wickets in clusters.
Exactly.
It's always a problem.
If India don't lose wickets in clusters,
Then
this match is theirs to lose.
It's already theirs to lose, I would argue.
Already they have got 1 foot ajar. They have just ensured that if Australia have to use some kind of a miracle to shut that door in their face. But at one point in time, I will say, if tomorrow Australia don't take a couple of quick wickets, that doesn't include Ashwin. If India are 120 for 4, then they have a 50-50 chance. But if that doesn't happen, because India are batting till number 9.
Yeah. Then
Nagpur,
I think Australia.
another day.
If you're India, you're looking at probably
of day 3 and give Australia.
If you have enough runs, I would say put them in the beginning of day 3 itself. If you have enough
that's
runs.
what. So maybe suppose ideal looking at the scoring rate of 3 per over.
No, you're not going to put them in at all. India will bat. I mean, you're saying declare.
Possible if they don't lose wickets.
No. Why declare? You have 5-day test.
Make Australia toil and grind.
If it was second innings, then you can think
then
because
fair.
time will be here. Time
They have
is
enough
of
time.
no essence.
4 days.
Yeah, but I don't think. I mean, let's not be that bullish about India going on and thinking of
You will have to
and
be-
all. You have to first go past that 100. We've seen stranger things happen. We've seen collapses. First, go past that 100-run deficit.
Yep.
Build on some lead, and then you're in the driver's seat where you can then dictate terms.
Ideally, what I would want is, supposing now you go past 177 without too many wickets being lost.
How many is too many?
Say you don't lose more than 4.
Okay.
More than 4.
So 3
Until
more
you have
wickets.
not erased the deficit. Suppose you're 178 for 4. Ideally, bat out day 2 and half of day 3, establish a lead of 250-300.
Oh, that's like you're in dreamland, yeah.
Not dreamland. I mean, see, they are batting till number 9.
I know.
So,
but
the ideal thing
200 is, come on, yeah.
The ideal thing is, look, the Australian bowlers have not inspired that much of confidence.
And maybe the pitch eases out. We don't know.
Yeah.
Pitch could ease out.
No, again, I'm going back to what Ravi Shastri said.
That India batting at the best time.
Will have the best time to bat.
On day 2, yes.
Even now.
And remember, day 3, the pitch would have already deteriorated. You got a lead of 200-250. And why would you want to bat longer? Because you would want to ensure Australia's. That's what. You have achieved 2 things. You have killed 2 birds with 1 stone.
I think India will have an advantage. They'll ask for a roller. Day is over. And most likely you'll go with a light roller here. India is trailing. Australia will be chasing the game from here on. Because India in a strong position. So you just do the regular things. No pressure. And by the way, lest we forget, this kind of a start has taken off a lot of pressure from a Virat Kohli who will be looking for runs. From Surya Kumar Yadav, who's making his debut.
Correct.
Imagine if they had to come in pretty early. And this is why I say that even though it'll go down as not a very successful knock in terms of runs he got, but I think it's still very crucial, that opening partnership. So 20 odd that he got, and then Rohit playing that counter-attacking. I think that base will serve India well going forward.
Absolutely. So, in a way, if I have to look at it, had this opening partnership not gone over 50, and they were still about, say, they had lost 2 or 3 wickets, then I would have not been in dreamland saying, okay, to 100 lead or 50 run lead.
Even now, I mean, come on, yeah, be conservative in what you want and realistic. 100 run lead is a luxury. If you get it, great, fantastic. But now you're asking for 250, 300 run lead. He's asking, not India scoring that much.
Lead, which means
lead.
You are
177.
420, 430.
And add 300 runs.
And add 300 runs to that. Why not? I won't say again. It depends. We don't know how this pitch is going to play out.
No, all of you guys.
Come on, we don't know. I'm just saying. What if it eases out?
And honestly,
the Aussie bowlers are not inspiring that much confidence.
This game has a funny way of biting you back. Don't forget, it's Test cricket.
Yep.
You've had one good sessions and think that is why it is Test cricket, because things change by the hour, and these are. I wouldn't be. I think that if India go on to score 400 runs on this track, whatever I've seen of it, be one of the greatest batting performances ever.
Australia's batting performance up front was really that bad.
No. That much you can see with your naked eye.
I mean, yeah, it was. They did struggle at times, but nothing beyond.
Manas Labuschagne and Steve Smith are not some newbie.
Then it definitely has something.
Exactly my point. Of course, taking nothing away from Indian bowlers, they did the good work, especially Jadeja. I think Ashwin first wicket was lucky.
Yep.
After that, he found his groove.
But tail ender. That's also been India's Achilles heel for a lot of times. So, but no, I think we're exaggerating if we're looking at that. Still, the game is to be played. I keep warning you that you first have to
erase
cover
the
deficit.
Yep.
By the way, he's captain. Wow.
He's captain. He's just
he's barely played that many matches.
If you remember now, I'm just saying, go back to the turning point also. When Smith and Labuschagne were batting also, it felt like now it's going to be a long day for the Indian players.
They did, yeah.
And then what happened? 1 over.
Match changed,
isn't it? So again, all it takes is like couple of fantastic deliveries. You lose 2 of your big batsmen, assuming they're, let's say, a Pujara or a Kohli, and then you have a debutant in Surya Kumar, and then you're batting till 9, but none of them are like hardcore Test batsmen. Yes, they can do well on a given day, but I'm just saying that's the cat amongst the pigeons. So always be very wary of Test cricket. Anything can. I'm not as optimistic. Call it my old age.
Yeah, because I am going in with the assumption that India will not collapse in clusters like how the Australian batsmen.
No, but that's a wrong assumption to make.
I mean, look, we know that Australia could
Well,
collapse.
nothing is guaranteed.
Yeah, I know that.
So, what makes you so sure that India cannot?
Because this Australian bowling lineup, so far, whatever I've seen on day one, so far.
Yeah, again, I tell you, one day, they've got Nathan Lyon, right? You
Yes.
rate him?
Yeah, no, I mean, he's one of the best in the business. Yeah.
They've got Pat Cummins, you rate him?
Yeah. But I think this
Test
condition,
cricket?
I think he's neutralized on this deck.
Come on.
I mean, yeah, he's a great bowler. I mean, one of the best we have had. But I think
I'm
on this.
Test cricket, and not IPL records.
No. Test cricket only. The best bowler that we have seen in this modern day, along with Kagiso Rabada. But I think on this deck, he's been neutralized.
Well, again, see, with Cummins also, if we're trying to play devil's advocate to take the both sides argument, if that catch of Rohit gets stuck, doesn't fly in the middle, he might be a different beast.
He might
Yeah.
He's been tongued thereafter, but
By the way, there were some close calls when Nathan Lyon was on.
yeah, he was getting some turn.
Some
few
very
times.
close ones which went straight in, just missed the
Yeah.
stump. See, all it takes is two great deliveries.
Great deliveries. And I think Cummins, is wanting to conserve himself because most of his deliveries were 133, 134.
Obviously, he won't look. I think he'll look to
Yeah.
ration his
He's
energy.
not-
He knows for a fact that bowling 145 odd here is not going to make that much of a difference.
Yes.
Try and get the movement. Wait for the reverse swing.
A lot of you have asked us about what do you make of the night watchman thing. We discussed that earlier in the show. KL Rahul, what happens to him after this?
Still has 3 innings.
3 innings,
Three
right?
innings.
Provided it's an innings, he has Delhi. If it's an
He has
innings,
Delhi. He's still there.
Next
Still
level.
there.
Birthday boy, I can't say.
I mean, see, okay, assuming he has 3 more innings, let's see after that.
No, I mean, I think it's too early to call because today again he dug in. Full credit.
I'm saying again. I'm thinking from the team's point of view. When he comes into the dressing room, what's the reaction of the team? I think he'll get a pat on the back.
That okay, you tried, did well.
No.
You hung it.
See, because you again, when India must have been going out, they would have been nervous, right?
Yeah.
We don't know. 177. Can we make it? You're nervous. And I'm just saying, what you must be thinking. Then, to the time when he comes back into the pavilion, you would have been much more relaxed. Calm,
Yes.
saying that okay, pretty much, what we wanted has been achieved. So we're in a good footing here. Now, openers have given us a decent start. So I think they'd be. Akash Bhardwaj is asking, what would England baseball have done here?
They would have gone for their shot.
But
No,
you
I
don't
think
have
they
to
would have
imagine.
played according to the situation.
No. You've seen what England baseball would have done. What Rohit Sharma has done.
Exactly.
So you saw
That is the
exactly
baseball
what
That
they
is
did.
baseball. Yep.
You got to see it.
Yes.
There you go.
Absolutely.
See, it won't be like what they did in Pakistan because they were getting absolute roads over there. But they would have still been
even
aggressive.
on a spinning deck in Multan.
Yeah, they went for their shot,
Yeah, they went for the shots. They made about 240 in about 50 overs.
which is pretty much ODI batting when you think
Exactly.
about it.
So that is why they bat according to the pitch and the conditions that's there. In Pakistan also, those roads, that was only in Rawalpindi.
That Rawalpindi road, and they took full advantage of that.
657 and 101
Batted
overs.
657 runs in a day.
Oof, 101 overs, man. That was insane.
Gaurav Barba is saying Nathan Lyon's been quite quick through the air in his spells. Do you think this somehow hinders the wicket taking capabilities on this pitch? It's a tricky one. Usually, I mean, we prefer spinners giving it a bit of a loop, but this pitch maybe being a little bit quicker through the air may not be a bad idea. Ashwin was also trying to do that.
Yeah.
And so was, by the way, Todd Murphy. I don't know if you guys heard. One of those, when he just came on to bowl, Rohit was facing him. And Rohit told KL at the other end, and the stump mic caught it, and I heard that. He's saying, "Ye fast bowler ki tarah dal raha hai." Quicker through the air. What they're trying to do is that, see, they're trying to reduce your reaction time. They're hoping that let's throw it and let the pitch do its job, some trick. And because it's quicker, your reaction time is a bit, less because if you're bowling quicker. That too, if you loop it, see those looping deliveries, which Nathan Lyon does very well, works, as I said, in those conventional pitches. Because there, you really want the ball to turn, and the turn will only happen if you loop it, and you play with that. But here, because you're hoping for the pitch to do the trick, quicker might not be a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yep. It won't be a bad idea.
Yeah. Lots of question about the night watchman. You already answered that.
Yes. You want to take Austin Kuna?
What is he
It just went up, yeah.
There.
Virat batting in second innings was 896 in 12 innings at 81.45.
Slowly, start. I didn't understand any of it.
Virat batting in the second innings versus us. That means now in this current India's first innings, 896 runs in 12 innings at 81.45. 150 and 600s. Wow. Scored his 72nd ton on 10th December, 73rd on 10th Jan, 75th on 10th Feb.
No, but second innings is in
This first innings, India's first innings,
no,
that is second
I think
innings.
he's talking about second innings.
No, second, as in the second.
Yeah.
150 and 600s.
Remember the Adelaide 2014?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one which he scored in this fourth innings or India's second innings.
India's second inning, I think.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be. India could be batting in the third innings also, and it would still be their second, their second technically.
Their second, yes.
Good question from Akash. He's asking, out of the lot, who looks most promising? Brook, Conway, or Labuschagne?
Depending. All format,
I would go for Devon Conway.
Conway right now. But as far as promise, Harry Brook is looking like something else.
Agreed.
Across formats.
Yes.
At the moment, I'm also going with Conway across formats. But Test cricket, I'm going with Labuschagne.
Yes.
Labuschagne.
100%.
Absolutely.
Test, he's that guy's. They literally manufactured a Steven Smith replacement.
Yeah, they were clone of Steven
Yeah.
Smith. So that's what. Same fidgetiness, same attitude towards batting.
Same that sort of studious mentality of I will practice hard, I'll keep doing this, I'll do
They
this.
must have been conjoined twins.
They, in fact, that's the joke that even the Aussie team has, the team camp has, that when they're together, they're just talking about batting all the time.
No,
that's all
and
they do.
And when Steve Smith got dismissed, the hurt that was on Labuschagne was far more than what was on Smith. I mean,
His hero.
No, his hero is idol.
Idol and now like a good friend also. It's a nice thing for him, I guess.
But if you talk to Steve Smith, very, very good man. I mean, I've had
Charming chap, he is.
very charming, and he will always greet you with a smile. So
He was always, I think, one of his things which actually made him a target early on in his career is that he didn't really think. He was very affable. Because when he first made his debut, James Anderson stuck on to something which he said. He said that, they brought me in to have a few, have a few laughs and jokes. And so James Anderson, being the wily veteran, says, they brought you in for laughs and jokes. What are you, the jester? And that's something that Steve Smith really took to heart. So that's why when Smith was scoring all those mountains of runs against England in the Ashes, he made a particular point to actually reply back to Anderson of all people. Otherwise, he didn't really do it.
It's a good point there. I'm not going to take his name.
Yeah.
But he says that tourists were getting more turn, that is 3.6
degrees
than home side, and that is at 2.9, because I know there are a lot of apps and websites which now actually tell you in terms of the amount of turn. But this is the most interesting point, and I go back to the earlier point that was made that Nathan Lyon trying to bowl quick. I think sometime, and that's why I said in a conventional pitch you need that extra turn, which is why you need to bowl slightly slower. Here, maybe the right way of doing is to bowl a slightly more quicker line, because how do you get wickets here? By targeting the stumps. In a conventional pitch, targeting the stump won't help you.
Correct.
You'll get cream for runs. So then you try and bowl, let's say, outside the off stump, try to beat between, get the batsman to stretch so you can create a gap between bat and pad, and various other techniques that a bowler employs. But here, because you're waiting for the pitch to do the trick, and we mentioned why maybe bowling quicker is the right way, is not really get the ball to turn. That slight turn sometime helps you better, because that's when you'll get leg before and bowl with lesser turn.
Yep.
If it turns more like it happened in case of Nathan Lyon, you're missing the stump so much.
Correct.
So all of those things put together, I think this could be very interesting. I think this is the area, and I'm sure if this data is available with us, we're talking about, I think Australia is going to look into it, and then they will try and do more and more of bowling slightly quick and controlling the turn. But having said that, all of this is good on paper, but you also need the personnel to do it. Especially for Akshar and Jadeja, this comes naturally.
Exactly.
They can do it. It's
Stump to stump quicker, but that's their bread and butter.
Ashwin, being the professor that he is, he can find a way to adapt to that condition. And because he experiments so much, he can find a way. But is it possible for Nathan Lyon and a debutant in Murphy to do it? I'm not too sure. And this might just be the difference between the two sets.
Again, Ashton Agar. He's exactly that. Quicker through the air, stump to stump. Again, you wonder why did they not start him?
Yep.
That's the problem. And remember, excess turn doesn't guarantee you wickets.
Yeah, because excess turn will make it sometimes spin away from the stumps.
Because
look at what Jadeja was doing. More often than not, he wasn't getting extra turn. He was getting just enough turn.
Yeah.
Just enough.
Drift.
And the drift was confusing the batsman.
Exactly.
Good question by Sansai Bhardwaj. Why aren't other batsmen playing like Rohit?
In the Australians' case, it is their
I think
technical deficiency against spin.
The talk of the pitch really got to them.
No, I think Labuschagne played like that to begin with. I think Alex Carey played like that.
Couldn't sustain it.
Also, Hanscom played like that till the time he started losing the partners at the other end.
So he became conservative.
So everyone who played like that got the dividends. I think, and also not everyone can. Let's say for example KL Rahul. I am not blaming that way because everyone has to find which is the best way that they can play and get runs. Right? So there's no point playing out of your comfort zone and just for the heck of it because one guy is successful in that. I'll also no, maybe not. Maybe the approach that KL had today at least work for him to get that base before that soft dismissal, where maybe he needed to be a bit more assertive.
No.
So everyone will do things differently. And then you got to see how it turns out. But I think this kind of play suits Rohit because he's an attacking batsman.
Yeah.
Exactly. And see, Australia, because Warner, who was their only attacking option, if he can,
he got out early.
I think that has hurt Australia every time they've come disappointed. That attack that they want right at the very beginning, it's not come.
Again, you know what else really hurts them? Travis Head. Why is he on the bench?
In high side.
That is a really, really big problem. So that's why you lost two attacking options.
Yeah.
One because he got out and one because you kept him out.
You kept him out. That's the problem.
So Arpan is asking what should be India's strategies and approach tomorrow. We're not going to answer that because we have a program called The Dugout, which is at 6:15 in an hour's time from now.
1 hour and 9 minutes.
And that's when we'll be answer it. This in fact will be a topic of The Dugout.
Yes.
So for the moment, unless you have something more to add.
In the words of MSD.
Nothing more to add.
Nothing more to add.
So for the
All
moment,
for the dugout.
We're saying bye-bye to you. This was our post-match show. But talking about cricket is not over because all we do is talk about sport through the day.
Yes.
So we'll be back at our regular time for The Dugout at 6:15. And then we'll talk about what should happen tomorrow.
Tomorrow on day 2.
Bye-bye. See you.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Vanakkam.